Joe Biden has been taking L's like it's nobody's business. So the Build Back Better failed spectacularly. Now they're trying to get their voting rights bill through, and Biden is just coming across as so ineffectual and pathetic because he is. He went over to talk. He gave a speech the other day where he was, trying to be tough against Manchin and Sinema and the Republicans who were standing in the way of this. In the speech, he basically said, look, do you want to be on the side of MLK? Do you want to be on the side of the civil rights movement? Or do you want to be on the side of Bull Connor? Do you want to be on the side of what's his name? Something Wallace, the Southern segregationist? Pick a side. Which side are you on? And so he gave this speech. It's an attempt to assert some political pressure, finally taking the move where he's going to assert some political pressure to get his agenda through. The problem is it wasn't a very targeted speech. He didn't call out people by name. And then he met with Kyrsten Sinema, had lunch with her, and then Kyrsten Sinema proceeded to go and give a speech on the floor of the Senate where she says, I'm not in favor of changing the filibuster at all, not even reforming it. Joe Manchin said the exact same thing. And get this, here's how sad Joe Biden is. After giving that speech where it's like, I'm going to huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down, he went to Mitch McConnell's office to try to tell Mitch McConnell, hey, listen, don't take it personally. I wasn't trying to say that you guys are like segregationists and you guys are the bad guys in this situation. So if it's not about Manchin and Sinema, who just spit in your eye, and it's not about Mitch McConnell and the Republicans, who are you talking about? Who's the problem here? So you see his true nature. It keeps coming out, and his true nature is backslapping politician who cuts backroom deals. He calls Joe Manchin JoJo, even as he's gutting his agenda in 1,000 ways. And he doesn't have the fight in him, and he doesn't have the intellect or the strategizing in him. Do you think he knows how to play hardball? Do you think he knows how to do the carrot or stick approach? Do you think he knows how to do what he has to do in order to win? Twist arms, act like a mafia boss? You think he understands this? You think he knows what LBJ had to do to get his agenda implemented? No. You think he has any idea what FDR had to do to get his agenda implemented? No. And so he tried in the most tepid and pathetic of ways, like, all right, this is me and I'm going to be tough. And everything instantly crumbled. The house of cards came falling down. So then he goes and gives a press conference, and look at what he says here.
I hope we can get this done. The honest to God answer is, I don't know whether we can get this done. Is this mic on? I guess, anyway. And I'm not sure either. But anyway, I hope we can get this done. But I'm not sure. But one thing for certain, like every other major civil rights bill that came along, if we missed the first time, we could come back and try it a second time. I don't know that we can get it done, but I know one thing. As long as I have a breath in me, as long as I'm in the White House, as long as I'm engaged at all, I'm going to be fighting to change the way these legislatures have moving. Thank you.
I don't know if we can get it done, but if we can't get it done, we could just come back and try again. But I don't know. As I say every show, FDR's rolling over in his grave right now. I don't know, gosh golly. When he was running for president, is that what he was saying? I don't know if we'll be able to get any of this stuff done. Now, understand something. If he had used all the tools at his disposal to this point, and we still hit a brick wall, that'd be a different story. He isn't even close to using all of the tools at his disposal. He's only used like 20% of the tools at his disposal. For the love of God, call Manchin into your office, call Sinema into your office, respectively, and you have these conversations where you tell them, I don't know what you want me to tell you, Joe. I got this guy, Merrick Garland, at the DOJ, and this guy's on a warpath. He's not happy with you. And he's looking into your daughter for the price fixing that she did when it comes to Big Pharma. And they got her on email saying, hey, look, let's commit crimes. So, Joe, I want to look out for you. I want to help you out, but you got to help me out if I'm going to help you out. Now, I could talk him down off the ledge, but it's going to take a lot. And so if you do the right thing, if you vote for Build Back Better, if you vote for voting rights, if you vote for the agenda, and if you're an advocate for these things, well, then I could probably save you. And I'll also make you a hero if you do that. We'll build a statue to you in West Virginia. We'll give you more infrastructure money. We'll bring you into our administration, or a family member or whatever into our administration. You will be a national hero if you do the right thing. Now, if you don't do the right thing, maybe your daughter sees jail time. You know, Merrick Garland's talking, you might be in trouble too, dog. I think he's investigating you. You got $5 million in dirty energy as you sit on the committee that determines what we're going to do in regards to climate change. You don't think that's a conflict of interest? You don't think that's a problem? You're raising all this money from billionaires and right-wingers right now. I want to help you, but it looks like there's smoke there, and where there's smoke, there's fire. Merrick's on a warpath. He's coming after you. You might be behind bars. I want to help you out. Help me to help you. Help me to help you. Why didn't you do this? Because he doesn't have it in him. He's backslapping a good old JoJo's my friend, even though he's destroying everything about my agenda and destroying the country in the process. Kyrsten Sinema, you don't think there's crimes there? You don't think she skirted the few ethics rules that we have on the books when it comes to fundraising, when it comes to campaign finance? I mean, this is somebody who ran on lowering prescription drug prices when she was in Congress, and now she took $1 million from Big Pharma, and she flipped on that position. There's absolutely something there. You tell her, you tell Joe Manchin, look, if you do the right thing, you're a hero. If you do the wrong thing, we will make you public enemy number one. You'll never get a job in this town again, and not only that, you're never even going to get a job in the revolving door again. All these donors who are giving you money, you're their buddies. Well, if I contact the companies that want to hire you after you leave here and pay you $1 million to do Dickie McGee's acts, and I tell them, hey, if you hire them, guess what? There's going to be an investigation into all the standards and practices that you don't abide by, all the regulations that you're skirting. Perhaps we fine you. So it's in your own best interest not to hire Joe Manchin or Kyrsten Sinema. You won't have a job anywhere. You won't be able to get a job anywhere. I'll run ads in Arizona, Kyrsten Sinema, that accurately portray you as public enemy number one and the biggest sellout in the entire country. Joe Manchin, I'll do the same goddamn thing for you. How would you like it if ads were running in West Virginia 24/7 calling you corrupt Joe Manchin, pointing out your conflicts of interest, showing everybody how you're not on the side of West Virginians, showing the polls about how our legislation is phenomenally popular and you're standing in the way? How would you like that? But if you do the right thing, you're a hero. I'll leave it up to you. He didn't do any of this. He didn't do it. Not only did he not do any of this, he won't even say the Republicans are the bad guys. He gave a speech and then went to Mitch McConnell groveling. And by the way, Mitch McConnell wasn't even in his office when Biden went to go meet with him, and so he didn't even get to tell him. But the whole point of Biden going was to say, I hope you're not mad at me. I was just trying to say that maybe we could probably get my thing done if people would do the right thing, but I don't think you're like the segregationist. Joe Biden is giving up in real time. And the final point is, I'm so ineffective. Woe is me. I don't know if this will work. Break out your executive order pen, you colossal cuck. Nobody has ever been a bigger mega cuck than Joe Biden in this instance. You can legalize marijuana today. You're the head of the executive branch. We have the drug scheduling and categorization from the DEA, from an executive agency. You had the complete authority to say, marijuana Schedule 1, now Schedule 4, Schedule 5, or we took it off the list completely. It's effectively decriminalized or legalized. I decided to do that. Why? It's like a 70% issue in the country, and everybody agrees this is what we should do. So, there you go. Done. Whole new industry created overnight throughout the entire country, not just in the however many states have now legalized it. Now the entire country, we have a new industry, which is job creation, which is more tax revenue, which is all this fun stuff. He's not doing it. He's not doing it. He could eliminate student loan debt right now. He could do free college by doing an executive order that says we're eliminating current student loan debt and we're doing rolling student loan debt elimination. So anytime anybody takes a loan out, it's immediately null and void. It's paid for by the federal government through our tax dollars. Well, that would be free college. You can do it right now. Again, these are things that are not only good policy, it's good politics. So you don't get a routing in the midterms that is worse than the worst routing the Democrats has ever gotten, which is, by the way, what we're on path to see. The Republican Party, the hardcore Trump base, they are now almost officially in a cult. And you're going to get beaten by almost a literal cult? You're not strong enough at governing and getting an agenda through. You can't even beat a cult. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life. And by the way, I'm just getting started. Those 2 executive orders are the easy ones. David Dayen wrote this fantastic article that runs through everything that Biden can legally do through executive order, and it's a lot. It's a lot. He really could, if he wanted to, do universal health care through executive order. We already have the authority delegated under Obamacare that in times of emergency, the federal government can pick up the tab for anybody's health care. At the very least, you could do it just for COVID treatment, right? Nothing. No.
I don't know if I can get it done, but what I want to know is where's my stapler, and I hope you're not mad at me when I try to get things done for the American people, but I'm going, if it doesn't work now, we'll try again.
When? When are you going to try again? When are you going to have a better opportunity? In the midterms, the Republicans win, so the Democrats get wiped out. You know, you lose the Senate, you lose the House. You're a total lame duck president. When? When are you going to take a crack at it? 2042? What are you talking about? It's now or never. For the love of God, get to work. But everything I'm saying presupposes that his heart is in the right place, and his heart is not in the right place. He is a neoliberal corporatist. That's what he is. He is a Republican light Democrat. So he's taking optics losses everywhere, but this is how he planned on governing all along, because he also wants to serve his donors, and the donors don't want a big, bold leftist agenda to get through, which is really the agenda of the American people when you look at the polls. So Joe Biden, man, he's flirting with being the biggest cuck in modern American history, if he's not already there. This is the saddest thing I've ever seen, man. It is absolutely pathetic. There's no fighting this guy. His tepid speech wasn't even direct, wasn't nearly pointed enough. And by the way, this is the one issue that you're going to go to the mat for? The one issue. The one. And look, the poll show, this isn't me talking, this is the actual polls. The poll show, even though this issue is important, I'm not downplaying it at all. There are other issues that are even more important according to the people. And you didn't even try your tepid fight on the other things. Bernie Sanders said it best. Take out individual bills through regular order, $15 minimum wage. Make people vote against it. Make the Republicans vote against it. Use it as ammunition. We're in the middle of a 2-year raging pandemic. You can't propose through regular order a paid sick leave law for us to catch up to the rest of the world? Propose it, do a full court press, have everybody go on the talk shows, you give another speech that's actually direct and pointed to anybody who's against this, and then if/when it fails, you go out there and you say, look, the dividing lines are clear. You saw who voted for you to get paid sick leave, and you saw who didn't. So if you want to actually get this through, you know what to do. Everybody who just voted against it, time to replace them, and time to replace them with somebody who will actually do the right thing. There's no order. There's no order here. There's no leadership. There's no structure. There's no path. He's a lost puppy dog. Homeboy's damn near 100 years old, and he still doesn't know what he's doing in politics. He's been in Washington, D.C. since Van Buren. He still doesn't know basic politics. We warned you 1,000 times, and don't you dare come blaming the left when Democrats get shalonked, okay? Don't you dare, because the left had the solutions all along. The left were the ones saying, you better get this agenda passed, you better have the fight in you to do it, and then you'd be popular. When was Biden his most popular? When he cut a check to people. Now, they lied and said it was 2,000, it was 1,400, but even then, people said, hey, 1,400 is better than nothing. Thank you, Mr. President. And his approval rating was over 50%. Now he's sitting around twiddling his thumbs and doing nothing, and his approval rating has tanked to a historic low. Do the fucking math. Don't listen to your idiot staffers who say, oh, you've gone too far left, sir. You got to be more centrist, sir. That'll be the way that you get Americans back on your side. This is the movie Groundhog Day, and we are waking up with the same nightmare over and over. It's incredible. It's incredible.
I don't know if we can get this through, but maybe we'll try, and then maybe we'll try again, and maybe I'll keep losing, and then maybe Democrats will be wiped out from coast to coast.
Thank you. Thank you for your service, Mr. President. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.